Hello, this is Miss D again. Today, we will be looking at some efficient ways to solve multi-step measurement story problems. Let's get started by looking at slide G. So here is a 3-read, so we're going to be reading it several times, each time addressing a new question. So let's go ahead and get started by reading the problem stem. Grades 3, 4, and 5 have their annual field day together. Each grade level is given 16 gallons of water. There are a total of 350 students. All right, let's go ahead and answer that first question. What is happening in this story? Go ahead and answer that question. When you're ready, you can go ahead and unpause. All right, so here we have grades 3, 4, and 5 are having a field day. And we know that there is some water for them. Okay, we're going to go ahead and read the next question, and then we'll answer a few more questions. So grades 3, 4, and 5 have their annual field day together. Each grade level is given 16 gallons of water. There are a total of 350 students. So now we're going to answer these two questions. What are the quantities in the problem? Think about those sentence starters. I can count, I can measure, and you're also going to be answering the question, what relationships exist? So go ahead and answer those two questions. When you're ready, you can go ahead and unpause. So what were the quantities in this problem, right? We can count 3 grades, right? Grades 3, 4, and 5. We can count that there are a total of 350 students, and we can count that there are 16 gallons per grade. What relationships did you come up with? Did you see that each grade gets 16 gallons of water? Did you maybe remember from previous lessons that there are 4 quarts in a gallon, that there are 8 pints in a gallon, and there are 16 cups in a gallon? So thinking about our conversions for capacity. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the final read and answer that final question here. So grades 3, 4, and 5 have their annual field day together. Each grade level is given 16 gallons of water. There are a total of 350 students. What are some mathematical questions you could ask about this problem? Go ahead and come up with some questions. When you're ready, you can go ahead and unpause. Right, did you maybe ask how many gallons are there for all the grades in total? How many cups can each student drink? Maybe you came up with some different ones. All right, now that we've read this problem a few times, let's go ahead and see if we can draw something based off of those relationships. So think about the quantities and relationships. How can you represent these? So what can you draw? You can use the graph paper if you need. And again, we'll read that problem stem one more time. So kind of think about what you could draw as we read. Grades 3, 4, and 5 have their annual field day together. Each grade level is given 16 gallons of water. There are a total of 350 students. So what could you draw? Go ahead, and when you're ready, unpause. All right, so let's take a look. Maybe you drew a little bar model that shows the relationship of 1 gallon compared to quarts, pints, and cups. That shows the conversions. Maybe you were drawing, if you were answering maybe how many total gallons of water are there for these 3 grades. Maybe you drew a bar model here that shows 16 gallons for grade 3, for grade 4, for grade 5. All right, now that we've kind of studied this problem quite a bit, let's take a look at what the actual question is for this problem. It says grades 3, 4, and 5 have their annual field day together. Each grade level is given 16 gallons of water. If there are a total of 350 students, will there be enough water for each student to have 2 cups? So go ahead and answer this question. When you're ready, you can go ahead and unpause. All right, so what did you get? Let's take a look at this problem together. I'm going to put up a sample answer here, and we're going to go over it together. So here we have the total water per gallon. So you remember from the previous slide, we kind of came up with something like this, right? Grades 3, 4, and 5 each get 16 gallons of water. In total, it's 48 gallons of water. Now, what we notice here, our units are gallons and cups, right? So we want to find out if 16 gallons per grade for a total of 48 gallons, it's going to be enough for each kid. There are 350 kids if they can get 2 cups of water. So let's take a look. So we know that 16 cups equals 1 gallon. So the number of cups equals 16 cups times the 48 gallons, right? Because the relationship to go from gallons to cups, you'll notice our number has to go up higher, right? It's going from 1 to 16. So we're going to be multiplying by 16. That's where we get the 16. The 48 is how many gallons of water there are for the 3 grades in total. So that's 768 cups. You'll see some of the side work over here. 48 times 16 gives us that 768. Now, we know there are 350 students, and we want them each to get 2 cups of water so that they stay hydrated during their field day celebration. So that means we need 700 cups to be able to give each of those kids 2 cups of water. So we have 768. We only need 700. So there is enough for each child to have 2 cups. All right, when you're ready to move on, you can go ahead and unpause, and we'll go on to the next slide. All right, now that we reviewed that previous solution, let's take a look at student B and how they solved the same problem. Go ahead and answer those questions here on the right. What do you notice? What do you wonder? What does this make you think about solving multi-step word problems involving units of measurement? So go ahead and analyze student B's work and answer those questions. When you're ready, you can unpause. All right, so what did you notice? Did you notice that student B found how many quarts in 16 gallons first, and then they multiplied the total quarts by 4? So let's take a look at that. You'll see that, the previous one had 16 gallons, 16 gallons, 16 gallons, right? But we notice here that they've changed it all already into cups. So they knew that the total here for each was 256 cups, and the total cups for all 3 grades was 768. We saw that number before, right? We saw that one in the previous one. And they got 256 by doing, remember how we go from gallons to quarts, is we can multiply by 4. So that's what they did here. They moved to quarts first. And then they went from quarts to cups. So they changed it from quarts, which was what they were solving for, and then they solved for cups. So this is how many cups are in 16 gallons. So that's why we see 256 being repeated 3 times for a total of 768 cups. And then we see that they solved it a little bit differently, right? They did 768, the total, divided by the 2 cups, and they got as their answer, the quotient, as 384. That would be the students, how many students that they can give 2 cups to. So there is enough water for 384 students to each have 2 cups. There is enough for each child to have 2 cups if there are 350 students. All right, now that we've analyzed this a little bit more, what do you wonder about the student work? Did you wonder why they multiplied the 64 by 4? Right, did you wonder why they multiplied the 256 by 3? We kind of addressed those questions a moment ago. And what does this make you think about solving multi-step word problems involving units of measurement? Did it make you think that you can solve multi-step problems different ways? You can convert from one unit to another, like in the first response, right? We went right from gallons to cups. Or you can kind of go from a larger unit to a smaller unit and keep going until you convert to the appropriate unit. So like we saw here, we went from gallons to quarts, and then from quarts to cups. So you can do it in more steps if you want to, but you can also go directly from one unit to another. Well, we reached the end of this video segment. I hope you found this video helpful in finding efficient ways to solve multi-step measurement story problems. Great job today. See you next time.